Hi everyone, do you know what time it is? It is time for the Seasonal Yarny YouTube Hop Autumn Edition. So if you would like to see the items that I decided to make to usher in the season, then stay tuned. Hold on for a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I am Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Take a look at this video or any of my other videos, and if you find yourself inspired, join my channel. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So, hi everyone. I am so excited. It is autumn and it's time for the Seasonal Yarny YouTube Hop. This is a wonderful collaboration that is hosted by Kim over at the Crafty Nomad. Kim came up with a wonderful idea of how we could use our skills and our inspirations to share with everyone every season. And that's how the Seasonal Yarny YouTube Hop was born. I have been participating in this for some time and I really do have a wonderful time, not only preparing things to show you all that I have made, but also looking to see all of the wonderful inspirations from all of the other content creators who have been participating in this beautiful collaboration. So I do want to say thank you so much to Kim over at the Crafty Nomad. If you haven't met her yet, what are you waiting for? You got to go over and check her out and check out the playlist, subscribe to her channel, give her a thumbs up, and see what she is up to. And while you're over there, check out her playlist and everything. She has some from previous Yarny YouTube Hops and the current one as well. And then check out all of the wonderful and talented fellow content creators that are in the collaboration. You will not be disappointed. I'm sure you will find something that will inspire you to create something for the season. All right. So now let's get into it and talk about what I decided to prepare to share with you. All right, so the first thing is I decided to do a little bit of tatting. And so I made this beautiful leaf. This is a tutorial by Frivol over on YouTube. And it is a tutorial. It's made with 2 shuttles. And it is a pretty quick project. It doesn't really take that long to do at all. And if I'm not mistaken, the video is only about maybe 10 minutes, even less than that, to do. Now, she is a seasoned tatter, so she's pretty quick. And so if it's going a little too fast for you, just slow it down, or you can pause it, and that should help you to be able to get it done. All right. So you do have to have knowledge of how to do the stitches, but I didn't have any trouble and I think it came out beautifully. So I decided to add just a little bit of something on the end. I added a ring to the end of mine and then put an O-ring here to allow me to take it and put it on this beautiful chain. All right, so it's very lightweight, and again, it is quick to do, and I love it. Okay, let me know what you think. All right. Okay, so the next thing that I came up with, we're gonna go increasing in size of the yarn that I use. All right, so the next thing that I grabbed was a size 3 weight cotton, and I grabbed that because I wanted to make a doily. Now I make doilies in a lot of different weight yarns, and sometimes I use a thinner, like a 10 weight, which is the same thing that I used for this. But this time for my doily, I decided to use a 3 weight. So let's take a look at the yarns that I used, and then I'll share with you what I made. All right, I am back. So the yarn that I chose to use for my doily is Patton's Grace. All right, and this is one of them. Patton's Grace is a 100% mercerized cotton. They come in 1.75 ounce skeins, and that's 50 grams. This one is natural, and like I said, it's a 3 weight cotton, and it is very soft, and it can be used for lots of different projects. And in fact, if you have ever made a knitted knocker or a crocheted knocker, this actually is on the recommended and acceptable list of yarns that you can use for those. All right, so It's comes in lots of different colors, and I really like that, but it's very, very soft. Okay, so I use this one, and then next I chose this beautiful color here, and this is called Fiesta. Okay, then I wanted a green, and I didn't have a deep green, so I just chose what I had, and it's this one right here, and this is called Ginger. Okay, so those three I think are very good colors to use to usher in the season, but I needed more colors. All right, so in addition to that, I had some three-way cotton that I received when I purchased some years back. So this is part of my stash. I purchased a Darn Good Yarn advent calendar, and it was full of different colors of three-weight cotton, and so that's where these came from. So I don't know the name of this, so this is a kind of a bright yellow, and then this one is a bright orange. All right, so I do think that these colors work very nicely, and I think they're autumn colors. Let me know what you think. Okay, so now let's take a look and see what I made with these beautiful yarns here. So that is a doily, and I'm calling it an autumn breeze doily. And I think it is just awesome. And like I said, I just played around with the colors that I had, just trying to use my stash, and I think it turned out beautiful. So let's take a look at the doily in real time. All right, so this is it in real time. Let me know what you think. I think it is just beautiful, right? All the beautiful colors kind of play well together and give a pop of color in each section where it is. Now, I'm going to expand it a little bit. This one is about 8.5 inches in diameter, but I think I want it a little bit wider, so I'm not sure if I want to just make a new one and make it larger, or if I want to add to this one. So I have to think about it and decide. So this one is a design that I came up with, so it's not anyone's pattern. Just playing around with some stitches, and I really like the way it came out. So let me know what you think about the doily. Does this usher in the autumn season? I think so. All right. All right, so let's see what else I came up with. All right, so that was three-weight cotton. Okay, so the next thing I came up with is a four-weight cotton. All right, and no, let's take that back. Okay, so the next thing I came up with is a four-weight or a worsted weight. And this one is not cotton. This is actually acrylic yarn. So this time of year, I start to work on hats and warm wearables for those in need. And so I had mentioned it in a previous video that I was starting to work on some things and share with you a few of the things that I was starting to work with. All right, so I'm trying to do basic patterns, but also kind of use either my yarns or add just a little bit of changes to the stitch pattern to give some variety to the things that I am making. So this is a beautiful lace work project to make a hat. So in coming up with this one, I wanted to give the impression of crushed leaves. All right, so I'm calling this my crushed leaves beanie. All right, so hold on, let me show you the photo here. Isn't it awesome? I think it's beautiful, and the yarn that I chose for this is Just Yarn by Premier. All right, and it is a four-weight worsted weight acrylic yarn. I am back. So what did you think? I think it turned out great. All right, so let's take a look at it in real time. Here it is right here. So this is my beautiful crushed leaves beanie. All right, and I just did a few pattern repeats around so you can see, and they're not symmetric or anything like that because it's not meant to be. It's really meant to be like crushed leaves. And so this one is maybe a toddler size because it does have some stretch to it and some length to it. Yeah, so this would probably be for newborn to through a toddler. All right, and this is my crown. I went ahead and did my decreases and then finished it up with a Kitchener stitch. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. And this one I did knits, pearls, yarn overs, knit two together, slip, slip, knit. Those are the techniques used in this one, and I really do like the way it turned out. Let me know what you think. All right. All right, so we are still in keeping with the worsted weight yarn. And so next, I did a crochet project. And this crochet project is something for just the home or something for decor. And I wanted to do something for like coasters. Maybe you have a hot beverage or something like that as the weather starts to cool down. And so I thought, yeah, let's just do some fall coasters. All right. So these are my coasters. Yeah. So what do you think? They're actually not very complex at all. They're basic coasters, but sometimes the presentation can make it look way more fancy than it really is. So here we are in real time. I just took them and I just kind of rolled them together and kind of turned them in the middle and turned them out like that so that they would have a nice presentation. And I made like a little kind of bowl for them to fit in. So these can sit somewhere very nicely all together, and then when you're ready to use them, you can just take them out. Now, like I said, these are basic, so they're honestly just circles. All right, they're not fancy at all. They're just circles, but sometimes that's all you need, right? Okay, so they fit very nicely in here and they make a nice gift or something to just kind of usher in the season. All right, let me know what you think. All right. Okay, so I am back. All right, so now I want to share with you the knit version of coasters that I came up with. All right, so this actually was a pattern that I found online. It was a free pattern, but it did not give the designer's name. Okay, so I will show you the photo that I saw that kind of inspired me here. All right, so this is the photo, and I was inspired by this beautiful leaf, and I thought that is just so nice. It's a basic leaf, but I like it, and it would help me to learn a little bit about shaping. All right, so I grabbed my yarn and grabbed my needles, and I got to working. All right, let's take a look at the colors and the yarns that I chose for this one. All right, so first I had some Lily's Sugar and Cream. All right, so this one is a 4 worsted weight 100% cotton yarn, and the color is teal. All right, this is teal. All right, now this one is a thicker worsted weight yarn than the yarn that I'm going to show you coming up. All right, so just keep that in mind. The recommended hook size for this one, I want to say, is a 4.5 millimeter, and it says that the gauge you should be able to get if you use those needles, you should be able to get 20 stitches and 26 rows per 10 by 10 centimeter square block. Okay, so I used this beautiful teal. I also used this beautiful gold color, and this is not sugar and cream, but this is peaches and cream, but I think they're made by the same company. All right, and then I also use some Premier Just Cotton. This one is in the color wine, and this one is in the color sunset. All right, so these colors, I do think these colors also usher in the beautiful autumn season, right? Okay, so I mentioned something about the gauge. Okay, so the gauge for the Premier Just Cotton, the recommended needle size is a 5 millimeter US 8, and then they say if you use that, then you should be able to get 18 stitches and 24 rows for a 10 by 10 centimeter square. Now, the only reason I mentioned that is because you have to keep that in mind for some projects where the gauge does matter. But in this case, I decided to make coasters, so it really doesn't matter to me that the gauge is not exactly the same, and I'm actually okay with that. But you do have to keep that in mind depending on the project, okay? So let's take a look and see what I made. I am back. So what do you think? All right, so let's take a look in a real time, all right? So first, the teal. And I think this came out so beautiful, right? Very nice, rich color, and it really defines the stitches, right? I think it's great, all right? Next, in the gold, all right? So the gold also turned out really beautiful. The bright color does define the stitches, and I think it turned out wonderful. All right, so let's see how the just cotton held up. Okay, so this is the beautiful rich wine color, and I think that one turned out good as well. This one has a little bit more drape compared to the peaches and cream and the sugar and cream yarn, but I think it's still beautiful nonetheless. And last but not least, our beautiful sunset. Awesome, right? So this one also turned out great. Has beautiful drape similar to the wine because it is a thinner 4-weight. But I think that all of them turned out great. There is a little bit of difference between the size, the finished size of the just yarn compared to the sugar and cream, but it's really not that big of a difference. I did use the same size needles for this, so I did use a US 8 or 5 millimeter to make these, all right? And they turned out great. I didn't have any problem with it at all, okay? All right, so that's what I made for the season. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that it was inspiring to you in even just a small way. Have you decided to make something for the season? And if so, what have you decided to make? If not, you have plenty of time because this is just the first day and it's really exciting. Lots of inspiration around. All right. So now I would like to share with you some puzzles. I was gifted a beautiful Wordoku puzzle book by my Yarny bestie Priscilla over at Distinctively Handcrafted. And I have been sharing with you the puzzles that we have been working on. I was delayed in getting my next video out, so I'm going to go ahead and give you all a new puzzle today and share with you the solution and everything for the previous one. So let's take a look first off at the solution that Priscilla and I came up with for the last puzzle that was shown. All right, so you can see that we were able to solve the puzzle, and if you didn't see the word, you will see it in this next clip here. Hold on. Yes, so it's awesome to be able to do these puzzles. It is good exercise for your brain to be able to try to solve puzzles if that's something that you can do. If it causes you stress or frustration, please by all means do not do that because I don't want to cause any stress. But I really do enjoy doing puzzles. Priscilla does also. And so we're just kind of sharing that with you and hope that some of you will enjoy it as well. So now let's go ahead and add a new puzzle. So I wanted to do one that might be in keeping kind of with the channel. And so I had some help and I asked someone to look at the puzzles and look at the word that can be revealed in the puzzle. And I just told them to just tell me the number of the puzzle and that would be the one that I would put up for this week. Okay, so this is the one that we're going to put up and do for this week. And I hope you don't mind because it is out of order from the book, but that's okay. All right, hold on for a moment. All right, so I am back. So now we have a new puzzle to work, and we have shared the beautiful items to usher in the season. I hope that you all were inspired. Once again, I want to say thank you so much to Kim over at the Crafty Nomad for this wonderful collaboration. I look forward to seeing all the beautiful makes that all of the fellow content creators came up with. It is always a wonderful thing every single season. I am just amazed at the talent and the gifts that each one has. It's a wonderful thing to be able to share. So, for now, to each and every one of you, do everything you can to be mindful, do everything you can to be at your best health, and by all means, continue to be crafty every day. Share your gifts, be inspiring, and be inspired. I look forward to seeing you again in one of my videos or one of yours. Stay tuned because I'm going to do a little bit of a video slideshow coming up next. All right, bye bye now.